Welcome to the Fit2 Talk podcast.
You just found the #1 health and fitness podcast for performers. Thank you for joining us as we bring you meaningful, helpful, and accurate information. And
remind you that fitness doesn't have to be boring.
Right now you're listening to one of our talk episodes during which Bobby and I talk about stuff.
Yes.
And if you like what we do, then please leave us a review.
And on that note, let's cue the music.
Well, there we are.
Yeah, cued it.
You cued it. It happened.
Cued it.
Okay, joke time.
Oh yeah, joke time. Go.
Which exercise do hairdressers do in the gym?
I feel like I know this joke as well.
They're going to keep coming. You're going to know a lot of these because they're all gym-based jokes at the moment.
Nice. Strong theme. Strong theming.
Well, now that we're on episode 202, you know.
Woof.
Woof. If you're listening for the first time, you'll get the answer to that joke at the end of the episode. Or punchline, I should say, not answer.
Yeah.
It's not a quiz.
It's not a quiz.
It's not a quiz.
Oh, I'd love to do a quiz.
We should do a quiz.
Yeah.
I do love a bit of trivia.
Trivia's great. Big fan of trivia.
Like a pub quiz. I don't want to go to a pub quiz, though.
I feel like we should do a version of like the 1% Club on here.
Remind me how that works.
The
questions get harder and harder and harder.
Yes, it's like depending on the percentage of people who are able to answer it correctly.
Right. So it's a bit like a better Pointless, isn't it, really? Because
yes,
Pointless is like, oh, we took 100 people and here's something that none of them knew the answer to. Yeah. Which is, well, it is what it says on the tin.
Exactly.
What's the name of the host on Pointless?
Alexander Armstrong?
Alexander Armstrong.
I saw him near our office the other day.
Did you? I think you mentioned this.
Yeah.
I don't get him as a host.
I know what you mean. I really like, is it Richard Osman?
Oh, he's brilliant.
I love him. I think he's brilliant. He created
Pointless. Yeah, and I think they're mates, aren't they?
Yeah, they went to university together, I think.
But also, Alexander Armstrong, like he's released like singing albums. Have you heard that?
He has released singing albums, yes.
If you haven't listened to those, go.
Yeah.
I would. Yeah.
I mean, I respect that he's had a very varied career.
There is that. I don't think that he's bad at his job in any way, shape, or form. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not going, oh, I don't like him. He just doesn't quite gel with me. Like I don't feel like I quite understand him. I think. Sometimes.
I know what you mean. Because he's done so many different things. I don't know how to like.
He's insanely dry. Like I don't see a sense of humor with him almost at all.
Yeah.
But usually when somebody's that dry, they're kind of funny.
Yeah.
And I guess I'm just like, I don't think you're a funny human.
Fair. Talking of funny, have you watched Smart TV? Oh, no, I think you know. So there's this new series on Sky, I think it is, called Smart TV, which got Rob Beckett as the host. And like, I watched an episode the other day and it had like Ramesh on it. And you know how much I love Ramesh. It's one of the funniest things. It's one of the funniest like TV quizzes because it's got almost no quiz elements to it. It's barely a quiz. Like they shoehorn a couple of like rounds in. People are like, nah, this is essentially just a gag. This is just them pissing around. And I love it.
Kind of here for that.
It's one of the funniest episodes I watched was the other day was Ramesh.
I guess like 8 out of 10 Cats does Countdown. Like was so popular. Like they did play Countdown on it.
Yeah.
But they really ramped up all the other stuff that happened.
Yeah. It's essentially the same kind of thing as that. And it's very, very, very funny. Depending on who is on the panel.
Yeah.
Like it's always the same with all those panel shows. Like the panels make it. And like that was a particularly good panel. Particularly funny.
Is it on Apple TV?
No, it's Sky.
Sky, that'd be why.
But yeah.
No time for me. Little callback to something we spoke about before, but they have released the rules for the boxing match between Mike Tyson and Jake Paul. Have you seen it?
Oh, no, I've not seen the rules, no.
So, if you don't know anything about this, then influencer and YouTuber Jake Paul, who's also won some boxing matches and is in his prime, you might say. I think he's turning 27, 30, 28, around that, is going to fight Iron Mike Tyson, and it's going to be broadcast on Netflix, so it's likely that you will be able to watch this. Now, Mike Tyson is 57.
Yes.
He'll be 58 at the time of the fight. Now, here are the rules. They would normally fight with 10-ounce gloves. They're going to fight with 16-ounce gloves.
Okay.
The rounds aren't going to be 3 minutes. They're going to be 2 minutes. So there's...
Right, shorter, yeah.
2-minute rounds.
Okay.
There will be no judges.
There'll be no judges?
The only way you can win...
with a knockout?
You can only win with a knockout.
Woof.
So there will be no victor unless somebody knocks out the other. Now, Iron Mike Tyson is famous for knocking people out. But he's 58 at the time. So they are the rules for this bout. So it's like this utter mockery of boxing. And obviously, it'll probably be the most watched boxing match in history.
Yep.
Obviously, people are up in arms about it. People that know about such things. And they're going very, very, very mad. Very mad.
Yeah, that seems... The fact that the only way to win is by knockout feels like a rogue choice.
Yeah, it's not the one.
That feels potentially dangerous.
Yeah. Oh, but also we were chatting about things too, like show-based things, weren't we? That the Mean Girls casting came out relatively recently, a few weeks ago now, and that meant that Georgina Castle has been cast as Regina George.
Yeah.
And we wanted to say, if you're excited about that and you listen to this podcast, then jump back and listen to her episode, see how she got to where she is.
Yeah, another great episode. She was a lot of fun to have on.
Yeah, absolutely.
She was great. And I can't wait to see that show.
It's going to be banging.
And they've done such a great job on the marketing for it. You can just see the pink everywhere in London. It's great. They've really nailed that. It's going to be huge.
Yeah.
That's going to be an absolute beast of a show in the West End.
Yeah, that'll have a huge cult following, I think. And then you were saying also...
I was saying, fairly recently, it was the 40th anniversary of Starlight Express. And they had a skate together.
I
with loads of the original cast.
Because of on Francis's Instagram, wasn't it? It's so bizarre to see so many people doing that skate around thing that have all been in the show at some point.
I loved it.
They must have hired a roller rink.
Yeah, I think they did. Yeah. And then they just got a bunch of former casts together to do that. Also coincides with the new production of Starlight Express that's happening, which is very exciting.
What's the theatre called?
Troubadour.
The Troubadour. It was where
it was called. I think it's still called the Troubadour.
That's what I know it as. Yeah.
Yeah, which is going to be fascinating, like a brand new version of it.
Yeah, it's going to be changing that whole space to accommodate.
Yeah, it could be incredible. I can't wait to see what they do with it. I
hope so, because it's tricky, isn't it? It's tricky to get right.
Yeah, I have a lot of love for Starlight Express, the first ever musical I saw it back at the Victoria Apollo when it was there, and it was...
But the concept is weird.
The concept's bonkers. It's also fantastic.
I was working with a student on one of the songs from it the other day, and it was what's the one about being a diesel train? That one,
the Greaseball song.
That's the one. And I was like, and he was going, "But I'm a train," and I was like, "Yeah."
Pumping iron. There we go. That took me a whole minute to find it.
I was like, "Yes, you are a train.
You are a train, yeah.
But you're personified here, so you have to characterize.
Yeah, you're not a literal train. I know.
You can't just be a train, or you wouldn't be speaking. You have to personify it. You have to see it. You have to add your version of this character.
Yeah, it can't be like Thomas the Tank Engine the musical. It's
but it's hard.
It is hard.
And it's also a tricky concept to get your head around if you're approaching acting for that first time in your life, and you're going, hold on. Am I a cat or am I a person?
Yeah. It is.
Does he only write shows that are non-human
transfer
things?
the characters as well. Greaseball is definitely the Pharaoh from Joseph.
Yeah. I'm surprised Betty Blue Eyes didn't have more of a singing role in that show. But hey, did you ever see Betty Blue Eyes?
I did not know. I've got a song from it in my rep, but
there were some banging songs.
I didn't ever see it.
I really remember that coming out and them going, they'd spent £1 million on an animatronic pig, and it was in one scene when it ran across the stage once and back.
What money well spent?
It was, and it was. I think it was Kylie Minogue. Her voice, she voiced something in it. Maybe it was the pig. Maybe it was the pig. She had one like later.
Hold on.
You've got to Google it.
Hold on. Voice of Betty Blue Eyes.
When we're recording this, Bobby is wondering if I'm pranking him. But
Kylie Minogue.
I'm like...
The voice of the show's animatronic pig, Betty, was provided by Australian actress Kylie Minogue.
There we go.
Wow.
What were we saying about trivia?
That is a great piece of trivia.
Yeah, she was the voice. We've got a coaching corner for people.
I'm just
You're
baffled
still
by this
baffled.
animatronic
Actually,
pig. Hit
us with a fact of the day before we.
Let me hear you with the fact of the day.
Before I give you some habit building tips.
Okay. Water might not be wet.
I love this fact because I've had this argument with people so many times, and actually scientists can't agree, right?
Exactly. So this is because most scientists define wetness as a liquid's ability to maintain contact with a solid surface, meaning that water itself is not wet, but can make other objects wet.
Right. And here's my logic on this, which makes perfect sense to me, because fire itself is not burnt.
No.
But fire burns things.
Fire burns, yeah.
So when you come into contact with when you get out of water, you are now wet because it is clinging to you. Like it has affected you in some way. And when that water leaves, it is no longer affecting you. You are no longer wet. In the same way that if you burn and then you heal, you're no longer burnt. Like it doesn't affect you. And when you ask people, is water wet? The internet goes mad. Honestly, the debates, they're like, obviously it's wet. And you're like,
but is it?
But it's not though, is it?
It's not?
But it's not. Wet is the outcome.
Yeah.
Like, not the thing.
It's a great, I love that. Water might not be wet. Also, does not fall under the accurate information, but I remember reading something that was basically saying that we can't tell if something is wet as humans.
Correct. It has the same sensation as if it's cold.
Yeah.
Right.
We can't, like, it's like when you're trying to check your laundry.
Yeah. You
don't know if it's wet. Humans can't tell if something is wet.
And I have this with Maddie quite often. She's like, I think it's still wet. And I'm like, it's cold. It's just cold. It's been there for 3 days. I'm pretty sure it's just cold. Right. Okay. Shall we jump into our coaching corner for the day?
Let's do it.
So if you don't know this already, we obviously we have many clients with Fit2 Perform and we take them through wonderful elements. So this is a new way that we're doing these episodes of the podcast in which we give you a kind of light version of what we might provide for clients in a slightly less in-depth way, but that you might get some of the same benefit from that. So today I am delivering this.
You're up.
So Bobby is hearing this for the first time too.
Very excited.
I've written this. It's just based on one of my favorite books, Atomic Habits by James Clear. And if you haven't read that book, it offers this comprehensive guide to habit building and maintaining good habits. It was an absolute bestseller. And these are some of the best tips from that book, in my opinion anyway. The first one is make habits obvious.
Okay.
Right. So increase the visibility of habits that you want to promote and decrease the visibility of your unwanted ones. You know, we've spoken about this quite a lot. So laying out your gym clothes the night before to make it obvious and easy to exercise in the morning. Pack your bag, put it all there, leave it by the door. It's completely ready. So you're like, the barriers to entry are non-existent. So that you have zero excuse. None. So make habits obvious. That's number one. I'm going to fire through these.
Yeah, that makes total sense.
Start small. We harp on about this all the time. People want to go, I'm going to change everything. I'm going to replace all the food I eat. Like, it doesn't work like that. You need to break it down into manageable chunks, making them easy to start and maintain, right? And that approach, he called it the 2-minute rule. And with that, he meant it had to be, to start off, it had to be something that would take you just 2 minutes to complete. And that means even if you have to break bigger things down into those tiny things and you go, what's the 2-minute thing that I can achieve? Job done. And we speak about this quite a lot with like actionable steps that you can take today. Now, the other on top of that is to stack habits, right? So if you have some positive habits that you have in your day already that you want to keep, then you can pair these new habits with the existing ones and combine them. So if you already get up and have a drink of water in the morning and you go, fantastic, that's a positive habit, and you're trying to take a multivitamin, we'll leave the multivitamins out by the side of the sink, so you're increasing the visibility, and take it at the same time. That's small. It takes less than 2 minutes. That's those first 3 points covered, right? You pair it with the water. You go, every time you go for that water first thing in the morning, you're now going to take a multivitamin. Great. Job done. New habit, hopefully within a couple of weeks. That's super easy for you now. The next one is to track progress. I think most people really underestimate this with regards to building a habit, but monitoring those habits and the associated outcomes keeps you motivated. Right, so knowing how that positively affects you, whether that's through journaling, the Fit2 app, or any app, of course, simple checklists, tracking that progress provides a sense of accomplishment and encourages that consistency moving forwards. I'm huge on this.
Yeah.
I'm like, I want everything tracked so that I know it just keeps me going. I'm like, I'm on a streak now of 17 days in a row. Like, I'm like, okay, I'm not going to break that.
Yeah.
Like, it just keeps you going. Stay consistent, which is the next one, right? So focus on building habits through repetition rather than intensity, right? So consistent, small improvements over time lead to significantly better results than just going hell for leather and doing too much.
That's something we've spoken about a lot on the podcast, like, is that thing of being consistent. It doesn't need to be crazy difficult, doesn't need to be at a crazy intensity, but if you're consistent, you're going to get there. Like, it's, that one to me is a huge thing.
Yeah, and you won't fall off at the end.
Yeah.
Like, if it's something you can consistently do, the clients we have doing the best are the ones who are doing Goldilocks zone of just the right amount. They're not trying to do more than we're giving them.
Yeah.
And they're just consistently seeing that outcome. The next is to create a supportive environment. Now, this is something that's super crucial, right? So you want to surround yourself with people like family, friends, coaches, mentors, ideal, places and things that facilitate those new habits that you want to promote. And they might involve you joining supportive communities or removing distractions from your life. Say you're trying to watch less TV, then hide the remote.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just make it a little bit more difficult for yourself in that instance. Or if you want to spend less time on social media, download one of those apps that locks social media once you've spent a bit of time on it. You can still put in a password and get back in there, but it's just that reminder, just making it a little tougher. And then support yourself by creating an environment that supports that. Ask your partner for help. Ask your friends for help on those endeavors. Like, when you're starting out on a fitness journey, go, hey, want to come with me on this journey? Will you help me on this process? And usually you'll find that instead of going, do you want to have a Domino's or whatever it might be, that person will go, do you want to find somewhere like more optimal to eat or whatever it might be? Who knows how they'll help you.
Yeah.
But if you find the right people, you're there. And to pair with that is use rewards. I love this one because that turns life into a game for me. And I'm
you do love to gamify things.
I'm a big fan. So you want to reinforce those positive habits with rewards. Now, that's to associate them with feelings of satisfaction and pleasure, of course. However, you need to ensure that those rewards align with your goals. So if you've run a 10K, don't smash down 10 Mars bars afterwards because you're like, oh, I've done this thing. And that's usually what people do. You want to find a reward that does hit those things. Maybe it's that you get to put a $5 into a savings account that's for a treat that you're going to buy.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you're going to buy yourself a nice item of clothing. That gives you a fund. You go, okay, cool. There's loads and loads of ways of doing this that are within your budget and realm. And they could be actions rather than something else that you go, oh, I get to watch a quarter of an hour of my favorite TV show if I do the washing up and all the dishes. Great, job done.
Yeah.
Whatever works for you. And you might want a bigger reward to start off with, but you'll get there. And then the final one, perhaps the trickiest for people to understand at the start, is to embrace identity-based habits. And that's to shift your focus from achieving specific outcomes to embodying the identity of someone who consistently performs the actions that you're trying to create and the habits. So instead of aiming to lose weight, strive to become someone who prioritizes health and fitness. Somebody who is working at being strong, or someone who wants to perform at their best. It's literally our entire ethos. We harp on about it all the time. Going
yes, we do.
This is the point. Like, that is an identity-based habit rather than an outcome task that once you've completed it, what did you do then? Like, I've lost weight. I'll go back to what I was doing then because I did this horrible time period. Anyway, by implementing all of those strategies, piecing them together, you can effectively establish and maintain all these habits that contribute to this personal growth and really success. So that's enough of me monologuing about habits.
It's great though. Like we love habits. Like, I think that's why it was just an enjoyable monologue to listen to, because I'm fully on board with all of it, because we love habits. We love building those habits. We love layering those habits. Like, the more you can build those habits into your life, better it's going to be.
Yeah. And there is a system. There is a way to do it. It's not guesswork.
No.
I think that's what's really important. Read that book, or there's plenty of other options. We can give you recommendations. I'm a huge fan of a bunch of this stuff, but those systems exist. There are people there to teach you them. You can hire people to make your life better. That is literally their job in every way. It's our job in every way. So, find that information and have a blast with it.
Do it. Get amongst it.
Should we get the rest of the joke?
I would love to hear the end of the joke.
I don't know if you would.
I think I would.
Okay.
Let's go.
What exercise do hairdressers do in the gym?
I think I've remembered it. I don't know.
It's curls.
Yeah,
it's curls.
I knew it was.
It was awful.
I remembered it as you were saying the joke. I was like, it's come flooding back to me.
Yes.
Like, horrible.
Yeah. I liked it.
I stand by it. Horrible.
That is how bad the joke was.
Horrible.
You had to invent a new word. It was full of horror.
It was full of
horrible. Thank you for joining us for this episode of Fit2 Talk. Don't miss our next guest episode when we are joined by another fantastic guest. And if you like our information, then head over to our website, fit-2.co.uk, and click on our resources. Because right now, because you've listened to this episode, I'm going to give you a code that's going to let you download our special guide, How to Lose Fat in 3 Steps, absolutely free. And that code is Fit2 Talk. It's not usually free, but it's free with that code.
Yes, it is. It is free with that code. And that code, one more time, is Fit2, the number 2, Talk. Fit2 Talk, all one word, all caps. Banger. You can find us on social media at Fit2Perform West End. Leave us a sexy review on here. Why not? Give us 5 stars. Cheeky little 5 stars. We love it. You love it. Everybody's happy. And if you've got any questions you want to answer by us, you know what to do. Slide into those DMs. I will be in there getting some habits on.
Oh. And if you like what you've heard, we've been Fit2 Talk with me, Steffan.
And me, Bobby. And if you didn't like it, we've been Joe Wicks. Peace out.